viewers, good evening. Thank you for joining me on India Upfront. The Karnataka government has approved a bill that mandates private sector companies in the state to reserve jobs for local candidates. 50% of management positions must be filled by local candidates. 75% of non-management positions must be filled by local candidates. The bill defines local candidates as those who meet these criteria. They must be born in Karnataka, have lived in the state for at least 15 years, are fluent in Kannada, and have passed a test administered by the nodal agency to test the proficiency in language. Industry leaders have criticized the move, calling it discriminatory and unconstitutional. They argue that the move could harm the tech sector in the state and that there should be exemptions for highly skilled recruitment. They argue that this goes against the idea of India as a unified and inclusive nation. India's constitution promotes equality, meritocracy and unity, and such measures may be seen as contradictory to these principles. It's a discrimination against talent from other states. It puts limitations on economic opportunities and growth, with potential negative impacts on industries and businesses. Just think about it, viewers. The idea of India celebrates diversity and promotes equal opportunities for all citizens, regardless of their state of origin. Reservations based on state of origin may be seen as a departure from this ideal. The Congress government's decision hasn't even found support among their allies. Sample the reactions.
It is a highly retrograde step against the spirit of national integration. This kind of parochial feelings would lead to a situation where people belonging to different linguistic groups would be campaigning against each other.
Karnataka decision is retrograde, reactionary and regressive. In fact, $250 billion IT hub of Bangalore came up not because of Kannadigas alone. It was actually the contribution of a lot of people.
No investors has to worry. We want all investors to come to Karnataka. There are certain sections of the people who are well talented outside the state. We want them to work in Karnataka.
In my state, why do you feel there is no potential? Why do you feel there is no talent here? If there is any justification to it, why you feel there is no number of colleges are less here? In the whole of country, number of colleges, engineering colleges, medical, ITI, nursing, you name every bit of it, even international schools are here. One of the best international schools are here. Why do you feel there is no talent here?
Let's open this up, viewers. Surbi Hodigari, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP, Sunil Alag, needs no introduction, Chairman SK at Advisors, Tushar Gupta, political analyst, Kamruzaman Chaudhary ji, political analyst, Syed Aslam, also on the show, political analyst, and Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist, completes the panel. I want to start by asking Mr. Alag. Mr. Alag, you know, we've seen this in Haryana. That move was struck down by the court.
I can hear you.
And now, the Karnataka government is proposing to bring in quota in private jobs.
See, I think it's a political move which is to satisfy the locals out there. But I would say that, look, it's against the industry, it's against everyone that they should have spoken to. Now they brought the draft bill in. Now once they brought the bill and it's passed, then they are going to say that we are going to talk to industry. They should have spoken to industry well before. And the minister or somebody from in another channel was talking about this entire move, saying that 50% could come down to 25% and 70% could come down to 50%. But that doesn't mean that the private sector on its own would want people who are skilled and they will always have people who are the best speaking and the best knowledgeable. When I was MD of Britannia, I couldn't speak a word of Kannadiga. And even then they brought me in. But from Bombay and Maharashtra also tried its best. But look, other states will move in like West Bengal, Haryana, Andhra, Telangana will all move in and take business away from Karnataka on this stupid move, which I call industry move, which I would not want to balance the two. Out of that, one is a political move, one is an economic move. The economic growth will hamper badly if this becomes law. There's no question in my mind, because There are many ways. There is a skill development. Now, it might take 5 to 10 years to skill people in Karnataka. Till 10 years wait, till 5 years wait till you have skilled people in factories, in managers and management everywhere. But to say that I want to bring the law in and you're supposed to skill and you're supposed to meet 25% or 50% in each place is a bit too much for the private sector.
Kamruzaman Chaudhary, Mr. Alag is not from any political party. What would you tell him? Can you counter him with a logical argument?
No, basically the point out here is that there are pros and cons to any decisions that you take. There might be debate on a particular topic, like in this Karnataka job reservation in the private sector. You must understand the holistic view of the entire approach that the Karnataka government wanted to take out here. With a 9.2% employment rate in India, the Modi government has failed to provide employment opportunities to the aspiring youth of the country. And this is more acute, I can say bluntly, in the Bimari states of the country, like Bihar, UP, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and all these places. It's definitely a very important debate to be done. Whether you can suggest whether the time is right or not, that needs to be divided.
No. 1 minute. Kamruzaman Chaudhary will come to the timing in a little while. 1 minute, sir. Kamruzaman ji will come to the timing later. But Mr. Sunil Alag is telling you, he is of the view that now that the draft bill is ready, you should have had the discussion before reading the draft bill. It will be brought in the assembly, perhaps be passed.
Yeah.
These are discussions you should have had before.
Yeah, there are. No, Mr. Alag is very much right. He is also right, and I am also right when I say that Modi government expelled 150 MPs from the parliament to pass away bills drafted by them and passed by them. So
how are the two related, Mr. Chaudhary?
Together out here. My view tonight will be on my debate, my viewpoint. Please listen to the viewpoint. I am not yet finished out here. The basic question that is out here, that with a 9.2% unemployment rate in the country, the responsibility of providing jobs to the youth of the state lies with the state government. If the people of the state are against the state government in asking that the government is not providing any jobs to us.
1 minute. Before I bring in Surbi and Tushar Gupta, I want to go back to Mr. Alag. Mr. Alag, when someone argues this point, what would you tell them? That look, we don't have jobs, we need to give jobs to our youth?
No, look, as far as I'm concerned, I don't belong to any party. This is a political move by the Congress party to save themselves. Look, if it is 9%, unemployment is throughout the country. It's a major issue, which the government is trying to do through skill development. They have a skill development minister of state. Why are they developing skills first? Why are we not developing skills in Karnataka? Why are we not developing if they've got schools and colleges? And why are they stepping out? What are the skills that the government is developing? That will be a balanced view. But to expect the private sector to do it is a bit too much. Look, I mean, to say 25% must be. Now, everywhere in the center, they are trying to get less controls over the private sector. That's how they invite private sector. Here you are putting more and more controls on each private sector department. There is no other state which has followed this. Please, I want to ask the minister and I want to ask him to answer my questions first. They should have discussed it and they should have said in the next 5 years, we plan to scale everybody. Will you take on somebody after 5 years? Yes, maybe yes, but not today. Today you don't have any skill development at all.
Let's bring in Surbi Hodigiri. Surbi, the BJP is calling it a diversionary tactic. They believe because the Congress government has not been able to deliver on its promise, which is why you have a move like this. But even the BJP is not vociferously opposing the move. What's the reason? Do you not want to hurt the vote bank?
First and foremost, let me clarify that the Bharatiya Janata Party has always had a commitment towards local jobs for local people. But the way that we have envisioned it is not the way that the Congress has approached it. You very rightly said that they have had zero consultations with the industry, which has sent some sort of shockwaves through the industry, and everybody's confused. Everybody is giving knee-jerk reactions. The cabinet ministers are responding with sort of knee-jerk reactions. The reason for this is because this is an ill-thought-out, ill-conceived move that is done only to distract from the fact that the Karnataka Congress does not have any hold on Karnataka administration currently. The Chief Minister himself has been indicted in two big scams amounting to more than 5,000 crores. And without any sort of, response on these scams, the Chief Minister has decided to rack up the Karnataka Asmita issue. Now, I agree very sincerely with Mr. Sunil, sir, while also correcting that Kannada is the word that you meant to use, sir. Even if you did not know Kannada, yes, this city has always nurtured everybody, has welcomed everybody. But the perspective that we are bringing here, which is a sobering view of the Bharatiya Janata Party, which always balances regional interests with nationalism, is that, yes, anybody from anywhere in the country can move for a job. However, local sentiments...
No, so are you saying that when the bill comes up in assembly, the BJP will oppose this?
First and foremost, we have not done a thorough review of the bill. The bill is yet to be tabled. Once that's done, we will look at it. Our approach has always been to incentivize, not punitive action, not penalize. It is to incentivize, it is to work with industry, it is to ensure that industry feels
Surbi, listen, Surbi, I am going by what you've said about the bill and this move of the Karnataka government. I am asking you a question on principles. If it comes in the assembly, what would you do? Oppose it or back the move?
I'm saying exactly what our stand will be, which is that we have not yet reviewed the bill. We have not seen there is a section, for example, that requires a government officer to sit through recruitment. Now, this is ludicrous. Where do you have these how can you even implement such measures?
This is a technical argument that the Congress gives for UCC.
Kannadigas must be given.
No, so like I said, you're not taking a position, and I understand the compulsions. Tushar,
no,
what will a move like this do? Let's have the larger conversation. This is divisive and discriminatory.
Good evening, Pranesh. The first point and the very obvious point is the Congress has introduced this bill at this juncture to divert the attention away from the fiscal chaos they have plagued the state of Karnataka in. We are looking at the price hikes in the basic utilities. We saw the condition of the KSRTC. A year ago, they were saying free bus rides would empower women. Today, they are saying we need to raise the prices of bus fares. Number one. Number two, I think there's a pattern at play here, Pranesh. You look at the Congress's trajectory. 2022, their leader says, nation is a Western concept, India is a union of states like Europe. That is followed up by their chief ministers protesting against tax devolution, saying that our money is going to the North Indian states, we do not like that. Then you're looking at local reservations, jobs for local people. I'm saying let's not look at this policy in an atomic manner, let's look at how the Congress has been behaving for a while now. They have been going after caste census. Now they're going after local reservations also. So if the khatakat fails, they'll now attack the social fabric of a city or a state. Look at Bengaluru, for example, a cosmopolitan city, a beautiful, wonderful city. People from all parts of India coming there. Today this bill pits one person against the other. Suddenly people who have come from different parts of the country, be it West, East, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, wherever, they're suddenly asking themselves, what about my future in this state? And look at the irony, Pranesh. This year, a group of MLAs of the Congress voted Ajay Maken to the Rajya Sabha. Now the same set of MLAs will make it difficult for Ajay Maken's city people to come and get jobs in Karnataka. What irony is this? Look at more irony. We keep talking about this India bloc during the elections. Kerala, Telangana, people come to Bengaluru in search of better opportunities or for more diverse opportunities. Now, are these alliance partners going to tell either the Communist or the other Congress government in Telangana, sorry, the people of your state are not as welcome here as they were before? What kind of discriminatory policy is being prepared here? Again, Pranesh, the larger point is Congress is following a pattern here. From saying India is a union of states to having local reservations. My question is, what is the larger game plan of the Congress? I'm taking Kamru Zaman's holistic approach and therefore asking, what is this Congress's plan of divide and rule? What does it mean for the future of not just Karnataka, but for the future of India?
No, this is as divisive a bill as was the bill in Haryana. Let's make no mistakes about it. Mr. Chaudhary, you were talking about the holistic approach. I don't know what is holistic. All that I can see is that this is deeply divisive. And look, you can fault the BJP for saying all of that, but in this case, look at what the industry voices are saying. Mr. Alag, for instance, Mohandas Pai, whole host of other people. I want to bring in Syed Aslam. Mr. Aslam, India alliance partners have been opposing this move of the Congress government. The left is saying that this is discriminatory, retrograde, regressive.
Pranesh, let me begin by saying Bangalore is the IT hub. Bangalore provides the maximum opportunities for all the job seekers across the country, no doubt about it. But having said that, you also need to be aware Bangalore has become an opportunity only because of the talent pool, the skilled talent pool which is available in Karnataka. And let me put it on record, according to the AICTE, Karnataka has 610 engineering colleges. We produce more than 1.5 lakh engineers every year. There is talent, there is skill available in Karnataka.
Mr. Aslam, who's denying or doubting
Pranesh,
that?
You need to allow me to finish.
You
need to allow me to finish.
I will, sir. I'm only asking you. There is no doubt in what you're saying.
No, let me finish. No, I'll come to your point. Pranesh, you need to allow me 30 seconds. Now, Pranesh, first of all, the local people need to get the jobs because there is skilled talent available. And nobody is denying it. The government is going to table 70% of the job opportunities in the normal skill and 50% in the management. I'm talking to you very, very clearly. When there is talent available, when there is skill available, we need to cater to the local people. The agenda of the government or any political party in the state has to be to cater jobs for the local people. And I will tell you on record today, Pranesh, the BJP and any other party will not have the spine to oppose this. They can talk whatever they want, but I'm sure.
No, I agree with that point. In fact, that was my first question to. I agree with that, Mr. Aslam, because you see, this is not so much about youth as it is about vote bank. So the BJP also can't survive without votes. So Surbhi will say that, look, we will go through the bill in detail and then come up with a measured response. I think she wants to respond to what you said. Yes, Surbhi.
Made into a conversation about vote bank. I take offense to it. As a Kannadiga sitting here, I will tell you that the matter of fact is that this is a real issue. But the real issue is not the solution, does not deserve a solution that the Congress is giving right now. The Congress's solution is to divide, distract, and not really give any proper solution. We want to incentivize industry to ensure that local population is higher. That's what we want to be able to do.
But Surbhi, it can't work both ways. You can call it divisive and then you can't even... No, 1 minute. Either you call the bill divisive and oppose it. You can't call it divisive and say, look, we have no problems. We are yet to, go through the detail of the draft. That's not on.
We are very clear in our stand that the assembly session is currently going on. The bill will be thoroughly examined and we will look into what opposition we are going to put forth. But we do have opposition already based on the fact that this is a bill that punishes, that is punitive, that drives industry away. We have lost Atar, we have lost Foxconn investments because this Congress government has not had policy clarity. The fact of the matter here is that Congress intention is completely wrong.
The intention is suspect.
They are trying to
I will respond to that. Give me quick 30 seconds.
Okay, Mr. Aslam.
Yeah. So, Surabhi, I just want to ask you one question. How is providing opportunity to locals being divisive? I don't understand that. And most important, Pranesh, Bangalore is blooming.
No, she's answering the question.
Let me answer.
Mr. Aslam, you asked a question. She's answering. Let's have Surbhi and Mr. Aslam on the street.
So
Yes.
Pranesh,
Mr. Aslam,
Bangalore is
unfortunately,
blooming.
we are not-
Let her speak, sir. You asked her a question. She's responding to you.
Mr. Aslam, I don't have to give you a lesson in market economics. If there is no industry, if there no industry is seeing Karnataka and Bengaluru as a potential place to set up, then there won't be any jobs or reservation question at all. We must balance the needs of the market with the needs of the people of Karnataka.
Okay.
That is the point over here.
Let me bring in Ashutosh Mishra. 1 minute. One person speaks at a time. Faders down. I'm sorry. Can't allow this. Mr. Mishra, you've been listening to this, quite patiently. I just want to run you through what the High Court had done while striking down the Haryana State Employment of Local Candidates Act 2020. The court said that the state is acting with a telescopic vision. It is liable to fall foul of principles laid down by the constitutional judgments of the apex court and the constitution itself. Concept of constitutional morality has been openly violated by introducing a secondary status to a set of citizens not belonging to the state. And then there are other points also. How will this proposal by the Congress government be different?
So, you see, one thing that you have made clear that this is much ado about nothing. First of all, it has to be cleared in the assembly and then by the courts. What is
very clear is BJP's duplicity. We were talking about talent. If you were, you must have read that BJP's favorite person, Adani, wanted Chinese laborers to be given a visa for his solar project. So if you don't have a skill available at home, you want to import people from China. But if Karnataka today says that we have enough people who can be employed locally, you are opposing it just for the sake of opposing it. It's a political debate because industry obviously hasn't read the whole bill, and from what the clarifications have been given by the Labour Minister of Karnataka, it's very clear that wherever talent is lacking, it will be it can be outsourced. And then, look at the BJP. Just last year in Bihar, they were opposing hiring of teachers by Bihar government. They said they are from outside Bihar and they should not be employed. And today they are giving gyan on how...
Mr. Mishra, I'll tell you that argument, that argument cuts both ways because when the Haryana bill had come up, many in the Congress were opposing it tooth and nail. Those voices are today silent. Tushar?
Pranesh, the first fact check for the speaker before me, Adani did not request for visas for Chinese laborers. He requested visa for some engineers because the Indians could be trained on the project he was working for. It was a very specific project. First fact check here. Number two, since Surbhi spoke about market economics, I would like to expand on that. What happens to the Bengaluru real estate market, Pranesh, if this bill is taken ahead? The rental, the residential and the commercial real estate sector is going to fall. The rents are going to fall. The property value, both residential and commercial, is going to fall. So if the government is saying this is for the locals, the first set of losers from this bill, if it becomes an act, is going to be the local population. Have they factored this market economy in? They have not. And again, if they want to empower the local people, they could have gone to the private sector, sought their help in skilling them. How does this help that you impose this rule on the private sector that forget merit, forget what you need, forget what your requirements are, this is the quota you have to go ahead with. Pranesh, world's leading companies have a setup in Bengaluru. World's leading banks, management companies, consultancies, the works. Did all of them know the local language when they were setting up shop in Karnataka? Did all of them know the local language when they were setting up manufacturing in Karnataka?
No, you are right.
Did
Mr. Alat, in fact, Mr. Alat made that clear.
Local culture or language when they were setting up in
absolutely
Karnataka?
Clear. It's but Tushar, at the cost of repeating what I said earlier, look, if the BJP is not taking a position, who will come to protect the people of Bengaluru that we are talking about?
And that is what the people need to start thinking. Both the locals and people who have gone there to build a life for themselves. The IT boom started in 2000s. It's been more than 2 decades. People have set up a life there. They understand the local culture. They celebrate the local culture. And sadly, one day a government that has failed on its Khatakat model says, oh, I'm sorry, you are not eligible to work here. After 2.5 decades of building their life there, I'll tell you who's going to come to the rescue of the people of Bengaluru, the people themselves who are going to vote out this dictatorial government.
And
that is what's going to happen. And Pranesh, again,
in a strongly worded statement has said that this will force industry to relocate. Surbi, if that happens, will it not hurt the local economy?
100%. Everything that the Congress has done in the last 15 months has been to hurt the local economy. We are we were a revenue surplus state and now we are in deficit. The fact of the matter here is that the Congress has no idea what they're trying to do because they have not thought it out, they have not consulted industry, and they have no intention to have this implemented. And please do not keep saying that the BJP does not have a stand. I will explain that stand once again for you and the viewers, which is that there are very strong local sentiments, and this is true across every city. Take Mumbai a few years ago, take anywhere else where the language is in a question of, whether or not we should speak Kannada or not. There is that question, there is that sentiment, and we respect that. We are grounded in our approach, but we think from a national perspective. The perspective here is that let us incentivize people to be part of the history, culture, and the language. It is not to make punitive measures. It is not to penalize people who do not know the language. That is our approach. It is a balanced approach. It is a nuanced approach.
But here's what the court has said about that approach. Before I bring in Mr. Alad, this will curtail fundamental rights to earn livelihood. Concept of constitutional morality has been openly violated by introducing a secondary status to a set of citizens. What was true for Haryana will be true for Karnataka. Surbi? Nothing has changed.
Absolutely. This is why we are calling
then
this.
Then if you are calling it divisive, then you must oppose it. You can't call it divisive and then say that, look, there are strong sentiments. Of course there are sentiments, but you will have to take a stand.
Sir,
Mr. Alad.
Again, Pranesh, I am saying this again. We have taken a stand, and the stand is very clear, which is that when it comes to the floor of the House, we will oppose the specifics because we are already getting word that the specifics are unclear. Instead, we will propose measures that are in consensus with the industry that protect the interest of Kannadigas but do not diminish the value that Bengaluru is giving to the country. Very, very clear stand.
Mr. Alad.
Yeah, I just wanted to say about Mr. Aslam said there are so many engineering colleges and there are so many schools and there are so many things in Karnataka, then in which case the private sector will automatically employ them. Look, why is the private sector being imposed upon? That's the only question that I ask. Is that, look, if there are skilled people within the state, it suits the private sector to employ them. And therefore, they will employ them. They will employ them as management. They will employ them in the factories. They will employ them. But this law, which you are bringing in 25%, 50%, 70%, is bad. It's bad for industry. It's bad for your economic growth. It's bad for everyone concerned. You cannot impose yourself on any one of these people.
Right. So, Pranesh, I respect Sunil sir's experience and his views on this. But having said that, you're right, sir. Sir, all the industries and the IT companies have come to Bangalore only because of the skill and the talent which is available. Three aspects which are covered. Why are these industries coming to Bangalore? It is skilled labor, it is talent, and it is ease of doing business. These are the three things which have been considered. And let me tell you very, very clearly, Mr. Alad, Mr. Alad, of course, the government has a responsibility to give opportunities to the locals as well. We are not saying that, by doing this, the industries would stop, the investments would stop. Absolutely not. Even today, there are locals working, but this is to promote the local employment. This is to promote and cater to the local talent which is available. Nobody is stopping outside us to come to Bangalore. Nobody is stopping outside us to come to Karnataka and work here. But the main agenda, the main thing...
Mr. Aslam, look, Mr. Aslam, don't even talk about the main agenda because you had a situation where the Chief Minister tweeted something, he had to delete it, then he put out another tweet, the Minister is saying something else. So, if the agenda is not clear, that is what Surbi is saying. that there is so much confusion, and the confusion is because of the fact that all of you have been running after power and position. That's the argument from the other side, that the focus is not on people, it's on power and position.
The point is very, very clear. Today we will not talk about the trivial issue of what is put and what is deleted. The bill will be tabled. It will be discussed.
How is it trivial, Mr. Aslam? It is fundamental. How are you calling it trivial, Tushar?
What is fundamental is what will be tabled in the assembly.
Sir, the figure has to be clear. The figure has to be clear. Now, I have the copy of the bill, sir. It says 50 and 70. 1 minute. The minister has another version. He says that we will have consultations and then we can, bring down the number. Is that not confusing?
So, Pranesh, that is why it will be tabled in the assembly. Every political party will have an opportunity to share the views, pros and cons of this particular bill which will be introduced.
Okay, Surbi first, then Tushar. Yes, Surbi.
Why was this consultation not done before drafting the bill? Why was industry not brought together? Knee-jerk reactions by the ministers, by the chief minister, is this good in any way? Absolutely not. Today you are seeing this backlash from industry because you have not consulted industry on such a big decision. This is the absolute, you should see through it, is because in the last 3 days in the assembly, what's been happening is that the Congress party has been cornered for the Valmiki Nigam scam. The chief minister has accepted on the floor of the house that there has been a scam. The fact of the matter is that there is a Muda scam which indicts the chief minister himself, he and his household. The Congress is reeling under corruption. The Congress is reeling under financial imprudence. The Congress is reeling under a fight for the CM chair. They wanted 3 deputy chief ministers. These are the real things that are happening, and now they've become very good with this distraction politics. Every time there is something like this that antagonizes them, they want to catch the attention of the media, and the English media, mind you. They want to catch the attention of people on Twitter and social media. They want to do all of these things, put some, put a breaking news sort of a policy and run away. I will tell you, this is exactly what's been happening for the last 15 months. The Congress is not serious about empowering people. They are only doing media management, only doing, narrative setting related stuff. The 5 guarantees are taking such a hefty bill on the state finances that there is a price rise.
Right, let's bring in Tushar Gupta.
Pranesh, Congress and economics cannot be mentioned in the same sentence, and Congress and merit cannot be mentioned in the same sentence. But here is the problem. For the last half an hour, I have been listening to the advocates of this bill, and they are saying that the locals will be benefiting from this bill if it becomes an act. Simple market economics. Let's say the bill is given a go-ahead even by the courts. Of course, all the companies will move out. They look at Hyderabad, they look at Vizag, they look at Noida perhaps, or even Mumbai, Pune, wherever. The companies will move out. Supply, demand. There are more supply, there is less demand. The people who are employing will suddenly decrease. So what happens to the salaries? The jobs that are being promised for the locals through this act or through this bill, they will suddenly vanish because the companies will go away to a state where such restrictions on the private sector are not there. What is so difficult for the Congress to understand? This is the most basic fundamental principle of market economics, that the companies will go, the jobs will decrease, and consequently the remuneration for the local people who are applying for this job will come down.
For a party that has been saying Jai Samvidhan, and for the alliance, I'm not even going to the alliance partners being in disagreement. But should you not be wary of what the courts have said about a similar case in another state? Kamruzamanji.
Yeah, basically, Pranesh, the point out here is that first I raised the point of unemployability of the local youth. The state government has a responsibility to employ them. Secondly, most important debate that we are all skipping out here, with very little employment opportunities in the public sector. The scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and the OBC are being deprived of reservation in the private sector. So the focus of all the government should be introducing reservation in the private sector.
This is like penalizing the private sector. They will run away. The private sector will relocate. What will you do? Kamruzaman Chaudhary.
This is giving justification.
How?
This is.
The
This
industry
giving
is saying we are not
justice to the
happy.
marginalized
Why are you?
section of the society?
No, Mr.
That
Chaudhary, you're not
debate should come
understanding the
in
point.
next.
In any case, we've run out of time on this one. I thank all of you for joining us. We were